Soil, the skin of the earth, and the foundation of every great farm. It allows us to produce life in it. Charles E. Kellogg once said that there can be no life without soil, and no soil without life. They have evolved together. Soil health is not only very important for the farmer, but also for the consumer. Healthy soil allows us not only to produce good tasting foods, but it also allows us to steward the land in which we were given. If indeed we desire that the earth yield her increase unto us, we too must therefore take care of the very foundation in which she will be able to yield her increase. It's a relationship that we must feed in order for it to feed us. Growing up, you would have never caught me walking through any type of soil, let alone working with it and studying its very composition. I even studied biology in school, and at that time, I didn't really take much liking to plants. But here I am. The right soil and its nutrients should be the focus of every farmer. For when your soil is healthy, it has the ability to yield a bountiful harvest for you year after year. The soil allows the farmer to cultivate produce that will nourish the very souls of families. The chemical and physical components of soil are essential, but the biological aspect of it must be studied and fully understood. Physically, the life cycle of the produce that we grow on our lands will eventually give back to the soil on the earth. Its energy is never lost, just reused and recycled. Soil is a living entity and the stepping stone of food security. It's not dead, hence the reason why we shouldn't refer to it as dirt. Dirt is not living. Dirt doesn't produce life. But soil is the essence of life. It is living and continues to allow all gardeners and farmers all over the world to continue to grow life in it. Like you and me, soil needs air and water to survive, but it also needs much more than that. Underneath the surface of the soil lies about 10,000 pounds of biological matter that the soil feeds on every single day. This includes bacteria, fungi, worms, and things of that liking. They all work together for the good of the soil. Plants obtain all their nutrients from the soil, which is why if your crops are not growing or producing the way that you expect it to, that you should look at your soil's nutrients first. One of the most important nutrients that the soil needs is carbon. Soil receives carbon through the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process conducted by plants in which the ingredients, carbon dioxide from the air and water and sunlight, are all converted into the products which we call sugar and oxygen. It is from this process of making the sugar that the soil will in turn receive the carbon necessary for it to be healthy. Once the soil receives carbon, it can therefore use other nutrients to aid in the growth of the crop. Because soil relies so much on carbon, it is imperative that during your off seasons that you have a cover crop. This cover crop is not necessarily meant to be harvested or consumed, even though you can do that, but is meant so that the soil is not naked and has clothing on it so that it can continue the process of photosynthesis so that it can receive the carbon that is necessary for its health. Plants need about 17 essential nutrients that they're going to use in order to grow and thrive. These nutrients are essential to the health of the plants, and the three most essential out of the 17 include nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Each type of plant will require a different amount of the essential nutrients, hence why the farmer must understand the crops that they're growing and what their specific needs are. Nitrogen helps the greenery of the plants. Without it, the plant will turn pale and not thrive. However, too much nitrogen can cause your plants to continue to put all its energy in growing the leaves and not allowing the plants to bear its fruits. Phosphorus focuses on strong root development. When phosphorus is lacking, the roots of the plants will be weak, which therefore will not allow for the plant to grow and produce accordingly. Potassium helps with the overall growth of the plant, ensuring that the plant roots and tops grow the way they're meant to grow. This year I grew an array of crops on my farm, one of them being sweet potatoes. Unfortunately, there was a pest in the garden that continued to eat the leaves off of the sweet potato vines. One day it had completely chewed down the entire vine, making the plant to have to start all over from scratch. Sweet potatoes are root crops, meaning that they grow directly in the soil. The way it works is that you take a potato slip, it's simply the leaf that has some roots coming out of it, and you place it into the soil. You do this around late spring, early summer, and you allow it to take off. Because we can't see the vegetable until harvest time, it is imperative that you feed the soil before planting so that the sweet potatoes have the best chance possible. One way to know that your sweet potatoes are fully growing and developing is by looking at the vine. The vine should be lush, it should be green, and it should be sprawling out from where you originally planted it. Whenever the vine of a sweet potato hits any soil, it has the ability to root itself and even grow more potatoes. Hence the reason why you can actually control how much sweet potato you get during a growing season. Out of the 3 essential nutrients that I mentioned earlier, sweet potatoes need plenty phosphorus and potassium to encourage root growth. Sweet potatoes need nitrogen, but they don't need nearly as much as they need of the other 2. I am very grateful for the opportunity to grow my own sweet potatoes in an organic fashion. I do wish, however, that my yield was higher, but nevertheless, I'm still very grateful. Until next time, may the earth yield its increase in your life and in your garden. God bless you.